In this module, we will have 15 lessons of around 50 minutes each. By the end of this module, students will build deeper application skills of core concepts and ideas about content production and esports, develop project management skills through tournament planning, and explore career opportunities in esports related to content production and job shadowing. Lesson 1. Assessing student knowledge of esports events. Before beginning the first lesson of the module, you should research famous esports events as well as the diverse roles involved in running an esports tournament. If you're not familiar with esports events, some important tournaments you can look through before the lesson include the International, League of Legends World Championship, and Intel Extreme Masters. Lesson 2. Research and innovations. To help your students with the activities, you can contact your school esports club in advance and notify them that the students will ask to observe and interview them as they work. If your school does not have an esports club or team, you can contact local esports teams, college clubs, or esports venues to let them know of your plans for this lesson. Lesson 3-5. Interview and research. For the interviewing and observing parts, remind your students of their digital citizenship skills, especially those related to professional communication and courtesy. Make sure your students are on time and use esports professionals' time as efficiently as possible. If your students are unable to secure observation or interview appointments, encourage them to research online for behind-the-scenes videos and esports media interviews. Lessons 6 and 7. Developing the tournament concept. As your students begin to prepare their plans to run an esports tournament, remind them that having fun is the goal of their tournament above all else. Make sure they view this activity as collaboration, a fun class event, and you will see their engagement increase alongside their curiosity and knowledge. An important message to your students here should be that they will be limited regarding time as they run their tournament. They will have to run their tournament over the span of a class, giving them approximately 45-50 minutes to do so. This should affect their tournament design. If they wish to use a game like League of Legends, where a match can last up to an hour, perhaps they can implement a format where the team with the highest score of the 20-minute mark wins the match. An important aspect of the remainder of this module is the fact that it is a group effort. Stress the importance of collaboration to your students. The proposals they will create together will form the backbone of their tournaments. Lesson 8 and 9. Outlining the tournament structure. Explain to your students that workflows are a very useful tool that can help them plan their events efficiently. Your students should understand that the time and effort they spend in planning will reward them in the form of an event that is well run without major problems. Lesson 10 and 11. Planning logistics for production. There are many steps to consider when viewing esports tournaments from a logistical point of view. The staff needs to be at their stations at predetermined times, ready for action. With offline tournaments, food, travel, and accommodation also need to be considered. Stress to your students that attention to fine details can ensure that their tournament is a success. Lesson 12. Self-evaluation. Rubrics are very helpful as an evaluation tool. For this lesson, your students will self-evaluate their work, explain to them that in their professional careers, they often will be the first judges of their own work. They should be objective and fair as they consider their products, but they can use reliable sources to compare their work to obtain some benchmarks. Lesson 13. Proposal pitch. Your students should understand that the presentation and pitching skills will be very important for them as they enter the workforce. They should use their digital citizenship and global professional skills to make a pitch that is fun, easy to follow, and conveys the necessary information. Remind your students to be fair as they evaluate other pitches. They should not be disappointed if their proposals are not accepted. Every student in the class will be a part of this tournament, whether as an organizer, player, or spectator. Being a player or a spectator can be just as fun and educative as being behind the scenes. Lesson 14 and 15. Running the tournament. Before beginning the tournament, remind your players that their goal is to have fun experience. Some competition is healthy, but it should not get in the way of students enjoying themselves. Observe your tournament running group closely in action and assess how they deal with the stress of running a live event. Always assure them that they're capable of running their tournament and be ready to offer help if they need it. There are a few key considerations that you should look out for in this module. Reviewing class norms. You will see class norms reviews repeatedly during this whole course. As the first curriculum block, students and teachers will co-create class norms, and revisiting them periodically will help keep students and you on the right track to build a strong classroom community. Talk Moves Chart. We will use the Talk Moves chart for a lot of our student-led discussion activities. We want them to participate in an active conversation where they respond to each other's comments. Teach students the purpose, intent, and how to use these prompts on this chart. As students practice them, coach on the quality and choice for when they are used. Have students reflect on their own usage so that they internalize the appropriateness and effectiveness of these conversation tools. Esports terms and words. Throughout the course, we have words like VOD, caster, or meta that you might not have heard before. It might be a good idea to familiarize yourself with the internal language gamers use beforehand with a quick web search. Think, Pair, Share protocol. We will use the Think, Pair, Share protocol for a lot of our paired discussion and reflection activities. Think, Pair, Share, or TPS, is a cooperative learning activity that starts with you posing a question. Students will start by thinking for themselves prior to being instructed to discuss their responses with a person sitting near them. Esports teams. There is a great opportunity for hands-on learning if your school has an esports team or club. You can reach out to them before starting this course to ask how they can be involved and even customize some of the activities to fit your goals. If you do not have an esports team at your school, have your students reach out for college and professional teams or organizations nearby to see if they would be interested in a collaboration. Global Professional Skills Reflection. We will periodically have global professional skills reflection activities to teach, coach, and assess the key global professional skills related to the module.